You're listening to Sway in the morning on Shea 45.
George Daniels. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Sway.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that.
Come from the heart. And then, Heather, I got to tell you, man, you know how we get down in these streets, man. I went partying with George Daniels, man. I fell asleep in mid-sentence, and he still wanted to go on and on. Like at 7 a.m. in the morning, I was like, George, come on, man. I'm a young man. I'm trying to make it an old man.
I wanted to see what you Oakland cats had working because, you know what I'm saying, I'm a Too Short fan, E40. So I was selling their music when they were shipping it to me out the trunk of their cars.
Damn, that's crazy.
I go all the way back with y'all, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You've always supported. And then the Bay Area became such an independent outlet because at that time, people from the West or any other parts of the country couldn't really get deals in New York City unless you were a New York artist.
Exactly.
And most of the industry was settled there. That's how the Bay Area and places like Houston and Chicago became in L.A. when Eazy-E and them did the Ruthless Records. That's how they became so independent-minded.
Well, I used to always say the weather used to travel from west to east, and hip-hop traveled from east to west.
Yeah, right.
And it left y'all in the dark for a while, but it came back, man.
It came
back,
man.
strong.
And now even with Chicago now, man, you got, I think, I've always said, you know, don't sleep on Chicago. I mean, even, you know, when you had groups like Do or Die, you had groups like Crucial Conflict, but then you also had The Brat, and you also had Common, and then you also had No ID, and you also had Twister, and now, you know, you got the Kanyes, and, you know, now you got the King Louis, and you got the Chief Keefs, and you got the Lil Durk, who's here with us today, and, you know, Lil Bibby, and you got, you know, Chance the Rapper, and you got all of this different Rhyme Fest, you know, Lupe, you know, it's such a diversity of music.
Well, we've always been that hidden giant. We've, you know, Chicago has always been known as the black business city in the U.S.
Yes.
And when it came to music, we were always left in the dark. But historically, when there was only Motown in Detroit and Atlantic and New York and a few other cities had labels, Chicago had 42 record labels on Michigan Avenue from 12th Street to 22nd Street, and it was known as Record Row. So we've always been in the game, but the game changed, believe it or not, right after 9/11. Most folks don't realize that.
How so?
When all of the conventions stopped. Think about it.
Yeah.
We used to have Jack the Rapper, BRE, Urban Network, Impact, MBPC. Right here in Chicago, we had the Midwest Radio Music Association.
Yes.
All of those conferences collapsed because they sent their deposits in. Because conventions live from year to year.
Yeah.
And they sent their deposits in that are non-refundable.
Yeah.
Urban Network, we were going to Hawaii. They lost a $250,000 deposit.
Wow.
And so, therefore, then it stopped the convention, so it stopped the collaborations. It stopped that communication between East and West, North and South.
Yeah.
And so what you have are these segments now and that are being kind of recognized. But I think the music could be even greater if we came back with another Jack the Rapper, Urban Network, so we can start, you know, relating to one another from different parts of the country.
Different parts of the country. Yeah. And, you know, it's something to be said about this digital era. It has allowed independent artists to get exposure on a national or global level. But what it's done, too, is to your point, it's eliminated that human to human, you know, communication and contact.
And diversity.
And diversity. Yeah. And it's also allowed a lot of garbage to get out there, too.
Man, tell me about it.
Man, there's a lot of crap rappers on the internet, crap artists, in my opinion, although there's a lot of great ones as well. How has the digital age, though, you think hurt the retailer?
It basically totally destroyed us. You know, the biggest retailer in the world now is iTunes.
Yeah.
And Amazon after that on the physical side as well as digital. But there's still a market out there. And actually, the store that I have now is at Midway Airport here in Chicago.
Yeah.
The store on the west side I closed about 3 years ago, but I still have the property. I'm working on getting investors to believe in the dream that I have about how important it is to keep physical product out there.
Yeah.
Because I go to Walmart, I'll go to Target, I'll go to Best Buy, and I look on the shelves, and I see us, but not in totality.
Yes.
In other words, if back in the day, you come to me and you'd want all of Marvin, you know, what you got of Marvin Gaye, I give you a stack.
Yeah.
You can pick out what you want. The same thing with hip-hop. I carried everybody's catalog. You don't find that anymore.
You don't find that,
and
right?
then, you know, the idea of having, you know, it's like going to, you know, with digital books.
Yeah.
That's great and all, but, man, it's nothing like looking at your library.
Yeah.
Looking at the spines, the same thing with the vinyl.
Yeah.
And then when the CDs came out, you had a collection, something you could feel and touch.
Yeah.
Now it's just noise in the air. You know? And so,
noise in the air. I like that metaphor. All right.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shea 45.